Let's talk about all these copyright claims or copyright strikes that people have been getting lately here on YouTube. And I know this is a sore spot for YouTube content creators. In fact, I dealt with this about a month or so ago when I uploaded a video talking about the media's reaction to the verdict in the Jussie Smollett trial. Now, at the beginning of that video, and I was just trying to have some fun, I played the song. It actually had double meaning, but I was playing the song, I'm Gonna Go Fishing, done by Jerry Mulligan and the Concert Jazz Band. Actually, that was a song written by Duke Ellington. And nowhere on this album does it mention that it is copyrighted, that it has some type of patent or trademark. And all recordings are supposed to have a P, a C, or a T mark, indicating that it is copyrighted material, that it has some type of patent or a trademark. So was this a promotional copy? Because it was not uncommon back in the day for a record label to send out a promotional copy of an album. They'd send it to radio stations or wherever, record stores. And this was being played on my stereo, so it was not a direct audio source, it was a secondary source. But I got dinged for this, and I even analyzed the song while I played it. Now, I did go in and take out that portion of the video, and since then, the copyright claim has been removed. And I was on the fence about whether or not I wanted to do this type of video. But when I watched this video last night on David Hurwitz's channel, and a shout out to David Hurwitz, he's the editor at ClassicsToday.com, where he was talking about how he got dinged for using samples that he has permission to use, I had to come here and say something about this. So David Hurwitz got dinged for using samples he has permission to use, and in one case with one of these claims, or these strikes, they got the conductor, the orchestra, and the label wrong. And it's time somebody calls out Warner Chapel Hill and Sony UMG, all these publishers, these record labels. What are you guys doing? I am all for an artist making a profit from what they produce, rightfully so because they created that material. But if we're out here on YouTube just wanting to make the public aware that this music exists because they may not know that there's a recording of whatever group is out there, we should not be penalized for that. Now, if you're out there and you're making bootleg copies of a CD or trying to claim the rights to a song you did not create, then you should be penalized for that. But not for sharing this music or content with other people. How about this? Now, most people come here to YouTube to rant about their experience with these copyright claims or strikes. In this video, I want to talk about what exactly is a mechanical license when it comes to copyright and what they actually say about fair use at the U.S. Copyright Office site, because it will surprise you. But all we're asking for here on YouTube is a level playing field, a little give. And how about this? We can upload whatever content we want, as long as we don't claim rights to the song or that material, so we can make a profit from the video we produce, just not from the song or the content that's being used from another source. Everybody benefits because that person, that artist gets exposure, the music or whatever the content is gets out to the public, and it's a win-win for everybody. But somehow you people at Warner Chapel Hill or at Sony UMG don't see that. Now, a mechanical license is required under U.S. copyright law, and I know I'm going to be contradicting myself by telling you this, after saying that we should just have a level playing field and be able to upload whatever we want. But a mechanical license is required under U.S. copyright law if you want to manufacture and distribute recordings of compositions written by someone other than yourself. This ensures that the music publisher, the songwriter, the composer, even the artist in some cases, if you're talking about a drawing, that they get compensated for the use of their work. As I said, people should be paid for what they produce. But what exactly is the internet? Is it a recording or a distribution device? I really don't think you can label the internet because everybody uses it. Now, if you go to the U.S. Copyright Office website, this is what they say about fair use. Fair use is a legal doctrine that promotes freedom of expression. By the way, this was updated in May of 2021. So fair use is a legal doctrine that promotes freedom of expression by permitting the unlicensed use of copyright-protected works in certain circumstances. Section 107 of the Copyright Act provides the statutory framework for determining whether something is fair use and identifies certain types of uses, such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. As examples of activities that may qualify as fair use, Section 107 calls for consideration of the following 4 factors in evaluating a question of fair use, and I'll share a blurb from each. But let's back up for a moment. So they mention news reporting. Several times on this channel, I've talked about different articles. I've read you practically the entire article, and I've analyzed it. Why is an article that somebody writes different from a piece of music? It's all part of the creative process, is it not? Now, granted, with somebody who's writing a news article, they're talking about or making comments regarding current events, but still, they're creating that content. So here are the 4 sections that fall under fair use. Purpose and character of the use, including whether the use is of a commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. Courts look at how the party claiming fair use is using the copyrighted work and are more likely to find that nonprofit educational and non-commercial uses are fair. This does not mean, however, that all nonprofit education and non-commercial uses are fair and all commercial uses are not fair. Instead, courts will balance the purpose and character of the use against the other factors below. Nature of the copyrighted work. This factor analyzes the degree to which the work was used in relation to the copyright's purpose of encouraging creative expression. Thus, using a more creative or imaginative work, and this is in parentheses, such as a novel, movie, or song, is less likely to support a claim of fair use than using a factual work, such as a technical article or news item. But shouldn't it all be the same? In addition, use of an unpublished work is less likely to be considered fair. Amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. Under this factor, courts look at both the quantity and quality of the copyrighted material that was used. If the use includes a large portion of the copyrighted work, fair use is less likely to be found. If the use employs only a small amount of copyrighted material, fair use is more likely. That said, some courts have found use of an entire work to be fair under certain circumstances. Let's take a Bruckner symphony. A Bruckner symphony, depending on the performance, can run anywhere from 75 to 80, possibly 90 minutes. If you have a really slow conductor like Cello Debache. So if you analyze or play, let's say, the second or third movement from a Bruckner symphony, is that considered an excerpt? Third, effects of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. Here, courts review whether and to what extent the unlicensed use harms the existing or future market for the copyright owner's original work. In assessing this factor, courts consider whether the use is hurting the current market for the original work, for example, by displacing sales of the original work, and whether the use could cause substantial harm if it were to become widespread. In addition to the above, other factors may also be considered by a court in weighing a fair use question, depending upon the circumstances. Courts evaluate fair use claims on a case-by-case basis, and the outcome of any given case depends on a fact-specific inquiry. So shouldn't we all have a level playing field? And as long as we're not trying to make a profit from that particular song or that content, just making profit from the video we create, shouldn't we be allowed to share this with the public? I mean, we've got to compromise somewhere. And Gene Simmons coming out in an interview and saying, no, I'm against file swapping or downloads, isn't helping the situation. If you enjoyed the video, please click that like button, subscribe, hit me up on Instagram at #JasonComposes. You can leave comments below. Now you can reach me Twitter, Culture Confederacy at Twitter. So tell me what you think in the comment section below. Do you think that we should have a more level playing field when it comes to copyright law? Do you think we should just be able to upload whatever content we want as long as we're not trying to make a profit from the actual song or whatever the piece of music is, or let's say the artwork? How can we make our copyright laws better? But I think there is a better way. Instead of, no, and dodging people for using samples that they have permission to use and making them go through this process as they did with David Horowitz, where he has to get on the horn and talk with people at Warner Chapel Hill or Sony UMG to clear it all up when they can't even get the orchestra, the conductor, or the label right. So this is the Culture Confederacy saying peace out. Stay safe, everybody. God bless this great country. I'll catch you next time, and you all have a great weekend.